Yeah, what we doing now? It's Nisha's network, y'all.
It's Nisha's network, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's all about connecting, yeah.
connect the
Let's
vibe.
go. It's Nisha's network, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all about connecting, yeah. Let's go.
Connect and feel the vibe. Connections make you feel alive. We do this every day. Let's put your business on display. Network, let's heal and pray. It's our love, we here to stay. Trust in God, He'll lead the way. We on right now, no need to wait. Let's go. It's Nisha's network, yeah, yeah. It's all about connecting, yeah. Let's go.
Hey, everybody. So excited to be back here again with you and with Nisha's Network, Insightful Moments with Nisha. And I am just grateful to have another very special guest. That's none other than the beautiful, talented, and anointed, okay?
Yes, yes.
Mrs. Lashawn Lee. Hey, Lashawn.
Hi, Nisha. How are you?
I am doing well, and I am glad to have you here as a guest today to just sit down and have a conversation about some exciting things that you have going on.
Yes.
LaShawn and I attend the same church,
Mhm.
and I know that God has knitted our hearts together, and it just took us forever to really kind of connect. Her and her husband, Joseph, have just been a blessing to me and to Wes, but just from afar, but even seeing each other next to each other in church, sitting behind each
Mhm.
other, whatever.
Mhm.
But just to see and hear all the exciting things you have going on. And I found out we have kindred spirits. That's the part. So this is like a new friendship forming, sisterhood. And
Uh-huh.
I mean, when I found out all the things that you were doing, I just I got ignited. I was like, oh my God, I have to connect. I have to connect because just seeing how God uses you to change lives, that's kind of really what I'm all about anyway. So
Mhm.
I'm just excited that you're here today, and I can't wait till we dive into everything you have going on, all the gifts and talents and blessings that God has for you. But introduce yourself to everyone and just tell us a little bit of personal stuff about you, and then we'll dive into the business stuff.
Okay, well, as she said, my name is Lashawn Lee. I am the founder and CEO of the Carra House. I am also the wife of my forever date, Dr. Joseph Lee. I have 3 amazing children. I have 4 wonderful grandchildren, God's way of letting me do it all over again. Um, I am a healthcare provider also of 35 years. And so I am just grateful to be here.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I know we're here to talk about the Cara House, but I want to start from like your beginnings of even becoming a respiratory therapist and specialist.
Mhm.
I want to talk about helping people to breathe, girl, right there. Come on, that had to be more than just a natural gift, and your professional gift. That had to be
Mhm.
something spiritual in
Mhm.
that. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what made you decide to do that.
Well, it's a funny story in that I had gone to college to be an accountant, and I yeah, go figure. I
Two
was
different ends of
working.
the spectrum, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna date myself because I was working at a place called First National Bank.
Oh yeah.
And I really got sick of the same monotony, the same blue, black, gray suit, sitting behind a desk counting money. So my mom told me about respiratory therapy. Now, I didn't know what it was. I just knew I had to have something. And so I just signed up and went. It's a very rewarding field. Our responsibilities have changed greatly. Back when I started, back in the early '80s, we were called inhalation therapy because all we did was kind of
Wow.
deliver oxygen to people. Now our scope of practice has changed along with our titles. We're now respiratory care practitioners because we have such a large part of healthcare, critical healthcare.
Mm,
Most of my patients are critical, and it is
wow.
my responsibility to make sure that they can breathe. I am also a preceptor for Rush College and Malcolm X College, where I teach young respiratory therapists how to do what we do. So
Wow.
I
Busy
enjoy
life.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
busy life.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it's been, you said 34 years?
34 years. It will be 35 years in September.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 35 years of
Hmm.
helping people to breathe
Hmm.
and really just live, to be very
Hmm.
honest with you. So
Hmm.
let's talk about how your next breath came in 12 years ago with the Carra House.
Well, when my girls were young, they were not allowed to spend the night over other people's homes, people that I didn't know. If it wasn't family, the answer was always no. But I always found myself with a house full of young ladies because they would bring girls home. And these girls would not leave. They ended up living with me, literally. And in that, I found that there were several things that were missing from their lives, mainly support, someone to listen to them, a way for them to obtain the things that they needed in life. The basics, how to take care of themselves, how to cook,
Yeah.
how to pay bills, how to clean your room, just basic stuff. And it was like a rotation. When I kind of kicked one girl out, another girl would come. And I had a sister who said, "Hey, why don't you start a business doing this?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that I can do that." So the Carra House was born as a mentoring program.
Wow.
I
Did it
saw that.
start at your home? So you're saying it basically started at your home?
Well, taking care of the kids. Once I started the business, I've always had a brick and mortar because I was trying to separate what I did for other people from my home. I needed a balance. So I always had a brick and mortar. Um, but with the brick and mortar came more girls that needed to have a place to stay.
Wow.
So the mentoring piece was a small piece of the Care House because of all the other services that these young ladies did. And then I had a friend who said, "Hey, what about the guys?" And so, I was like, "Well, what about them?" I'm helping young ladies. And so when I opened up my heart to do that, I ended up servicing more men, young men, than I did women.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Now, are you still servicing young men too?
Absolutely.
See, now
Absolutely.
I didn't know that because I really thought that it was strictly young ladies. Now, see how you do. Listening is fundamental, okay?
Yeah.
Not just reading, but listening is fundamental.
Yes, it is.
Wow. So you've had this passion. So when you mentioned about people needed a place to stay, tell us a
Mhm.
little bit about that space because do you find people places to stay?
Well, we try to partner with different shelters and different organizations that will help the homeless. The South suburban area of Illinois has one of the fastest growing population of homeless teens.
Really?
Yes, we do, because the city of Chicago has a lot of services. We in the South Cook County region do not. So they are kind of forced into shelters with adults who it doesn't fare well. So they end up on the streets and they end up on drugs. They end up prostituting, or worst case scenario, which we've heard, they end up dead. So
Wow.
we try to find, even if it's me calling somebody saying, "Hey, I've got a kid that needs some place to stay for the weekend. Can you help me out?" And we've had a lot of people open up their hearts and their homes to these teenagers.
Wow. So
Mhm.
when you say teenagers,
Mhm.
teenagers start at age 13.
Mhm.
Are you speaking from that young of an age where, homeless?
Sometimes even younger, in that
Wow.
a lot of our children have aged out of the foster care system. A lot of them end up in foster care homes where the parents look at them as a check and nothing else. So they don't care that the kid roams the street; that they're still getting a check. Meanwhile, we have God's child that is just out here, and it grieves us. So we try to take them in and we try to wrap around services for them that will allow them to sustain a healthy life. But the caveat with that is until they're 18, they're still a ward of the state.
Mm,
And the
mm,
system is not set up, unfortunately, for individuals. It's just a
Wow.
system, you know.
Wow.
It's just a kid who's forced into a home who might be a good home and who might not be a good home.
Yeah, and I really know that it's like you're one organization and one,
Mhm.
company and nonprofit that really kind of is taking this in. There are so many, and it seems like they're hard to find in the south suburbs. Is that my imagination, or
No,
is
it
that just, it seems like there's so much more in the inner city than
yeah,
there is out here in the south suburbs of Chicago.
yes, yes. And unfortunately, to get city services, you have to have a city address. And so that's why we're trying to implement some of the programs that we are now in the South suburban areas so that we can help our children, the ones that are falling in the gap.
I guess I'm a little naive because I didn't really, I know children go to foster care. I do
Mhm,
know the homes are not that great, but I
mhm.
guess I was a little oblivious to how many are homeless. Like
Yeah.
that, I'm really shocked by you saying that, really.
Mhm,
To be honest
mhm,
with you, I grew up in the city, so you just think city, but you think that,
mhm.
you don't think that there's actually homeless, teenagers walking around. So tell us about some of the programs that the Carra House offers right now, currently. And if you guys are listening, please go ahead and share. This is a great opportunity to give to an organization that is amazing and doing something to change communities. So go ahead, Kara. I mean, LaShawn, look, Kara, I'm just
Mhm.
going to call you Kara. LaShawn, tell us a little bit about the programs that you have going on.
Well, we still have our original program of mentoring. Um, our mentoring is a little unorthodox because we actually service the child. Um, if the child needs someone calling them every day, every other day, we try to find a mentor to do that. Some of our mentees need a year, some of them need 6 months, some of them come a couple times and they're okay. So we don't have a cookie cutter program where we say, hey, we're going to plug you in and this is what we're going to do. Because our population of children, it just doesn't work that way.
Mm,
Um, our largest program is the high school program, where we have designed a program to allow the students, whether you are 16 years of age up to 65 years of age, you can earn your high school diploma in the comfort of your home. We are registered with the Illinois State Board of Education. So if you decide to continue your education, you're more than welcome to with this high school diploma. And it is a high school diploma and not a GED. Um, Sometimes it does make a difference. Legally, it's not supposed to, but some employees, it makes a difference.
yeah.
So this program, I can't speak highly enough of it because it has changed so many lives, both children and adults. There are so many things happening in traditional high school right now where children are literally afraid to go to school. There is an uptick in violence, overcrowded classrooms, overworked teachers. So some parents would just prefer their students stay home,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's where we come in. The program was also designed where if you have a child that you know is not going to graduate on time, we need you to transfer them into our program so that they don't drop out.
Oh,
Um,
that's good. That's so good.
we make sure that we kind of stay connected with them so that they can complete. But if you did drop out and you decide, hey, I need my high school diploma, we will service you as well. You have some adults who never finished high school for whatever reason, and now they want to advance in their careers. We have a program for them also. All our information is private, should you want it to be. But if you want to celebrate at the end of your course, we have a graduation where you can come out with your friends and your family, cap and gown, refreshments, pictures, the whole nine. So it all depends on where you fall in that spectrum and what we can offer you. We have childcare for our students who are enrolled in our program. We have a program called Camp Saturday, where children, I believe it's from the age of 6 to 15, if the parent needs a day off, they can bring them to the Carra House on Saturday. And while your children are there, they learn financial literacy. They explore different careers. We have art. We teach our children entrepreneurship. We need to stop telling our babies that when you grow up, get a job. All my grandchildren have names. I have a Judge Carpenter. I have a Dr. Carpenter. I have a Judge Alana. We have to speak into our children. So when
Yeah,
I talk to my babies and say, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? I don't want to hear where you work. What business do you want to start?
that's
If
so
you
good.
start opening up different career avenues to them, they have options. There's more than a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, a policeman. Those are all noble professions. But what about engineers? What about astronauts? What about physicists? There's a spectrum out there.
Yeah,
And if we expose them to it, they can reach it.
that is so
Um,
good.
and
That is so good.
our program coming up, hopefully the first class will be the end of September. We have launched a vocational program, a certified assistant nursing program, where if you want to become a CNA, you can come to our program and in 22 days have a different career, a career that will give you life's wages. You'll be able to take care of your family. Pre-COVID, CNAs made anywhere from 12 to $15 an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah.
They are the fastest growing profession in healthcare. I know CNAs that are making $35 an hour now. So,
Wow.
and there's a shortage. Most places are offering $1,000, $2,000 sign-on bonus just to get them in the door. So we want to be able to take our children from the streets, get them their high school diploma. If they have kids, we want to be able to watch the kids while they go to school, send them straight into the CNA program and straight into healthcare. So just as the penal system has a fast track to send our babies to prison, we have a fast track to get them on their feet and get them where they need to be.
Now, what about if they have some type of a record? You know what I mean? Whether it be behavioral or, just some type of criminal record. How do you work with those students?
So we have a lot of referrals from the Department of Correction for the high school piece. So we work with the court system or with the parent to get them their high school diploma. There is no discrimination for your high school diploma. With healthcare, you cannot have a felony record. The
Okay.
hospitals won't take you. And we're upfront about that, coming in the door. It's not that we don't want you to take the program, but we don't want you to spend this kind of money and not be able to use it. So you have to be able to pass a background check for the CNA program.
Okay. Okay. Now, I know that this is so exciting, you guys. First of all, the part where if your child is failing and cannot, you don't see them finishing high school and completing, you can go to the Carra House. Now,
Mhm.
what are some of the criteria in order to where you are receiving students? Because I'm sure there's some things that they have to follow through or follow up on, or is there a resume that they have to come with? You know
No.
what I mean? Or what type of criteria?
So for the high school program, we need you to be a minimum of 16 years of age. We
Okay.
will not take you unless you are 16 and that you still have a chance to finish high school the traditional way.
Okay.
Um, so you have to be at least 16, and that is the only criteria. Now, we need you to be on your best behavior.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Now, all your coursework is going to be completed at home. But there are times where you're going to have to come into the office and take pre-test and follow up and go over your paperwork. So on those occasions, we need you to be on your best behavior. Oh, and another thing I didn't say, Nisha, with the high school diploma, we have partnered with different, I'm having a brain freeze, different employees, if you will, Home Depot, Target, Ross, anywhere in the area. So we will allow you to shadow, again, just to open up the different career paths. But most of the time, the employees hire our students. So
Wow.
yeah, so now if you come in and you've got a bad attitude and you're not doing what you need to do as far as keeping up with your work, then we're not going to refer you. But again, our goal is to get you to a place where you can sustain yourself.
That is so wonderful.
Mhm.
My goodness, you guys need to connect with the Carra House with Lashawn Lee and this amazing opportunities, amazing wealth of opportunities, because that's
Mhm.
really what it is for teenagers. And so you said that the program starts from the age of 16 for to complete your GED or your high school diploma, not
High
your
school diploma.
GED.
Right.
But and this is for girls and boys. It's not just for girls, it's for teen girls and boys. There is
Yes.
a program for them, and you're training them to be entrepreneurs and
Yes.
financial literacy and all of these things. Camp
Yes.
Saturday alone, you guys, when you
Mhm.
parents need a break, come on. Now, how is it funded? Do the customers or clients that come in, are they having to have to pay? How what has to happen there?
So it all depends. We are, for the most part, self-pay programs, but we do offer payment plans for our parents. Um, our tuition is the lowest tuition out there. What we charge for our complete program, most recovery schools charge that for a half credit.
Okay.
If your child is in school and they have an IEP, it is the state's responsibility to pay for their education. So the
Okay.
state will pay for their education. Most of our children or our young people that come from DOC, the courts will pay for
Okay.
their. So it all depends on where your child is.
Okay, okay. This is so exciting, and I mean, I guess it was good that we sat down and did this because I'm
Uh-huh.
gathering so much information. Sometimes you get together and you forget to talk about the details. But what I wanted to say was, I'd love to for you to share a few success stories just in the 12 years that you have seen. Like, and then after we talk about maybe one success story or so, maybe you can share with us how your young women, how your children are looking at their mom, and how you foresee them, launching their own businesses and different things like that, or even
Mhm.
working with the Carra House. So first, let's talk about a success story.
Well, one of the success stories is had to be maybe 7 or 8 years ago because we will be 13 years old in November. We had an entire family graduate and get their high school diploma. A
Wow.
mother, a father, and 3 children
Wow.
all went through the program at the same time.
Wow.
That brought my heart joy. It really
Yes.
brought my heart joy. The parents said they did it because they wanted their children to know that they had their high school diploma and they didn't want their children to pass them up. And their children did it because they wanted to do it with their parents. So they literally, all 5 of them graduated at the same time.
Wow. Wow.
Another success story was a young lady that came to me and she sat down and she said, I just want to talk to you. I know I can't do it, but I just want to talk to you about it. Um, she came in very, very confused. And sometimes if you just listen to our teenagers, they'll tell you where their hearts are. I think we as adults talk at them and
Mm.
not to them. We
Okay.
talk to them with our expectations and not listening to their desires. So it's a big disconnect. But I listened to her. And when I said this to her, I said, you can do anything you put your mind to. She said, I don't have the money. From time to time, we have donors that give to our scholarship fund. And I said, don't worry about it. You do the work and we'll find a way for you to get through it. This young lady completed the program. She graduated with honors. She
Wow.
went to Moraine Valley College to their nursing program, and she is now on her way to becoming a nurse practitioner.
Wow.
Just looking back, and she always calls and say, thank you so much, you believed in me. And sometimes that's all they need. They just need to know that I can, somebody cares enough to call me and make sure I'm okay. And we have a safe place at Carra House. If you feel like you need a safe place, you can come down, and as long as our doors open, you can come and sit. No questions asked. Come on in and just relax and study.
Wow. Looks like you're gonna need a bigger facility, girl. You said same place. You're gonna be loaded down. Well, listen, I was thinking about this. How do parents know exactly that maybe they need your program, you know?
Um, Unfortunately, most parents don't know until the school calls and say, "Hey, your kid's not going to graduate on time."
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
we have a lot of parents who, for whatever reason, aren't actually in tune with what's going on with the student. But then you do have some. So, if I think the cutoff age in high school is 19, 20. So if you have a kid that's 17, 18, and they're still a sophomore, or they only have 8 or 9 credits, chances are that's not a good fit, for
Yeah.
them to graduate. So
Okay.
in instances like that, credit deficient, um, just academically can't keep up, behavior, they just can't cope. We have a lot of students who just can't cope with what's going on now. And it's a lot. It's a lot for most adults to deal with. So, we understand those dynamics, and we have the energy, we have the training, and we have the knowledge to deal with students that way.
Okay. Okay. And I'm thinking about how some parents actually homeschool and
Yes.
they need a transition
Hmm.
into high school. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So do they stick with you, the students stick with you all throughout, or are they just, passing are they mostly seniors that are coming to pass the test? Or say for instance a 15-year-old comes to you and they're homeschooled and the mom is ready to transition them. Would that be a candidate as well?
No, because
Okay.
they're 15,
Oh, I mean six. Okay, let's say 16.
they're 16. If the mom was adamant about not putting them in a traditional setting, it's always best to graduate from a traditional school.
Okay.
We are a private school. We are also an alternative school.
Okay.
The program was designed for those who could not fare well in the traditional setting.
Okay.
So I know it sounds crazy because we're turning away revenue, but again, our best interest is for the child. And if your child can graduate the traditional way, we encourage that on every hand. If
Okay.
your child is not, then let's work together. Let's
Okay.
get them where they need to be.
Well, you guys, this is Lashawn Lee, the amazing Lashawn Lee. Okay. And she has the Carra House, and you all can go to thecarrahouse.com to get more information, the CNA programs, the mentorship programs. If your student is struggling over the age of 16 and the school is saying they're not going to graduate, you need to go ahead and log on to thecarrahouse.com and get some help. And that's what I would say. Get
Mhm.
some help, get some encouragement, get someone who believes in your child. And I think about this, LaShawn, and I'm not really sure because I didn't hear you say tutoring or something like that. But I mean, sometimes students may need more of a one-on-one as
Mhm.
opposed to distractions by every which way.
Mhm.
So, would that be considered like mentorship, tutoring, and completing a program?
Well, tutoring is something different, and we do have a lot of students who need that one-on-one help, who need that structure, if you will. And we outsource tutoring.
Okay.
But we do have connections with certain people that we use who don't charge you an arm and a leg because they are aware coming in the door. Our students don't have an arm and a leg, so we need you to charge them maybe a finger, but not an arm and a leg.
Yes.
And then we try to get internships from the different colleges who have to practice for their teaching certificates to do tutoring as well.
Okay, okay. Well, that's very clear. Well, 30 minutes goes by so fast.
Yes,
But
it
what
does.
I would like to do is I would like for you to encourage people on what you want them to know. What message do you want the Cara House to speak to not only our community, because I'm sure this is going to be a global program, you guys. So
Mhm.
y'all just hang tight. Hold on to your seats because the Cara House is coming to a place near you. Look, I'm giving you more work, LaShawn.
That's okay.
But share exactly what message would you like for people to hear when they hear the Cara House?
I want you to think of the Carra House as a social service agency that is there for the student as well as the family. You can't serve the child and not serve the family. For moms who just need somewhere to vent, you can call us, and if we have any services that can help you, doesn't necessarily have to be one of our services. But as a single mother at one time, I understand the heaviness of trying to make it and trying to make sure that my children were okay. We are there to service you in any way we can. We are there to wrap services around you and your child. And we are there with open arms and open hearts. We've helped many, many people, not just in the state of Illinois, but all across the United States with these programs, change their lives. Our tagline is knowledge and power. If you know how to overcome certain things, it just takes the burden off of you completely.
Yes, knowledge and power takes
Mhm.
the burden off of you completely. You have to know. All
Mhm.
right, so you all log on to thecarrahouse.com. Thank you so much for sharing today. If you are here, you can go ahead and go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, and that way you can get this video any time of day, Nisha's Network YouTube channel. And you can join Nisha's Network. But most importantly, I want you all to connect with Lashawn Lee, from the founder and CEO of the Carra House. Thank you so much for today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having
I
me.
can't wait till it blows up even more because it's so needed. Oh my goodness. All right. Until next time, you guys, hang tight, LaShawn. We will talk to you guys a little later. See you this evening for Marriage Madness in the month of August. Talk to you soon.
Okay.